Hello, everybody. It is Saturday, the 29th of July, and I want to talk about that the likes of Justin Trudeau are really the living image of Jesus. They have become like Jesus. And that we really must return to our Father's house. We've been driven out into the wilderness, and we must return. It is a choice, and I mean, in the end, it is a choice. Go to that kingdom if you want to, but choice should be a conscious choice. It needs to be born out of understanding what is actually going on, what you are, what defines you, and how you're defined by this world, and how you're defined by that kingdom, and what it is you're becoming. Because the outcome of a spiritual path is yourself. You are the outcome. I am the beginning and I am the end. The Alpha and the Omega. I am is the beginning, that which goes on the path, and I am is the outcome. So, how is this even working? From what I've experienced myself and from what I can hear others say, I can confirm. That is that if you're taken, they say if God calls you, yeah? That is to say you've been called by something else, not this world. This world is a God by himself. This is God revealed. Yeah? There, God is not revealed. Yet. He's trying to be revealed. He's trying to come into this world, but not yet revealed. So, you're being called by something that is not yet revealed. And they say, and I can confirm, that when you're being called, it will disconnect you from your friends, your family, from your connections in this world. And it will do that. And it also, I can also confirm what the Hermetics say, and that is that if you go out into all, it will make you unfit for life on earth. And it pretty much does that. Because you are disconnected, you're barely functioning in this world. You're barely functioning in your family, and sooner or later you might leave your family and find yourself sitting on a beach with a silly grin on your face, proclaiming all, or you will become a Justin Trudeau. They are actually in essence the same. They just fulfill two different functions. Show you that in the end. So that's what's happening. You're being disconnected from what you know because you are being defined through your connections. It is not just yourself, but you know yourself through your connections. And it is the connections that set the boundaries. Yeah, there are boundaries. And if there are boundaries, then it's defined. And there's a knowledge of good and bad. Because there are places, there are things you cannot do. Especially not if you are connected through love and empathy. Then there are just things you cannot do because you do not want to hurt other. And that is not just another human being, that is nature, that is this world. If you were connected to this world in love and empathy, you would not want to hurt it. And there's your boundaries. There's a knowledge of good and bad. But what happens to people when they disconnect, fully disconnect, I mean, I was never fully disconnected. And I tried very hard not to be fully disconnected. Yeah, I always dragged myself back into this reality because this is my home. Yeah? And what I learn should serve my home, my Father's house. That was my way. So I was always, kind of they are cut off by the roots and from the roots completely. They're now free floating in all. And yes, everything is possible now. There's no more restrictions. You're beyond good and bad. That is because there is pretty much no more definition of yourself. And the other thing is that at that moment you have stopped evolving. Yeah? You have really become a free floating bubble that is no longer evolving because it's no longer nourished by the connections that would make it grow, or at least keep it alive. So there you are, free floating in space, spaced out. The thing is, you die. If you stay in that state, you will die. And it creates fear. And rightly so. You're dying. I am cannot exist on its own. The Lord God of the Bible does not exist on its own. In fact, he's bringing people into his kingdom all the time. Yeah? He's not on his own. Nothing does exist on its own. And that's what's creating the fear. You are dying. So then something comes to rescue you. Something will come to rescue you and say, here's a home for you. You can become part of something again. You become part of something that is greater than yourself. And what you are can serve in that kingdom. Yeah? And then it gives you a new structure. Here is the idea of two worlds merging, of two structures merging. It gives you a new structure in which to function. And you become according to that structure. And good and bad becomes according to that structure. And that structure is not human. My Father's kingdom is not of this world. You have become something else, not human. Yeah? That's the outcome. And that is why the likes of a Justin Trudeau can stand there and talk, say what they're saying, yeah, and those of us that are still human, that still know ourselves in this world, connected to what is in this world, we're standing there saying, what on earth are you coming out with? Can you not hear yourself? Yeah, I think they can hear themselves. Absolutely they can. But what is listening is no longer human. That's the problem. And again, what would drive us into the wilderness, out of our Father's house? Well, a lot of them are people that were not connected in the first place, not terribly connected. They were already outside of society in some way. Yeah? Or the other one is greed. Greed will get you there. Fear will get you there. Those are pathways to the kingdom. Greed is a good one. And there's also a promise of that kingdom, and it is a bit, I thought about that, it is a bit like legal talk. You know, you really need to look at what is being said and what is not being said and how it is being said. You know, we're waking up to that at the moment. You know, we're looking at contracts, especially with the WHO at the moment, you know. What's been taken out, what is not there, what has been changed, and how is it worded. And there's Jesus standing saying, you know, in my Father's house, that is not of this world. there are many mansions. Yeah? If it were not so, I would not say that. But I'm going there and prepare a place for you. Yeah? And I look very carefully at what is being said. Yeah? He said there are many mansions. It doesn't say they're all mansions. You should have maybe asked what other kinds of abodes are there in your Father's kingdom. And when he says, I go and prepare a place for you, you kind of assume it's a mansion because he mentioned that first, but that's not actually what he's saying. Yeah, so for the saints of that kingdom that go, do away with self, disconnect from their humanity to become something else. Yeah, if you ever wanted to sue the kingdom to say, for the mansion that you have been promised, it didn't actually say that. And again, there's the other thing, and that is many are called and few are chosen. So many go on that path of disconnecting, denying self, because this is part of self. The wider part of self is this world. So they're disconnecting, they're denying self. Yeah, they're becoming just a small bubble, just themselves, disconnected from everything. They're becoming spaced out. Wow, everything is possible. There are no more restrictions. So they're going on that path, and it says few are chosen. Yeah. So you have the Justin Trudeau, who obviously is sitting beside the Father, and you have Klaus Schwab putting his son on the stage, saying, "Here's my son, and I'm exceedingly proud of him." Yep. But then you seemingly have others that go in the past, and I say they're sitting somewhere on a beach or under a tree with a silly grin on their face, proclaiming all. And I thought, well, you weren't chosen then. But then this morning I thought, a kingdom needs, again, there are many different abodes. It needs people that fulfill different functions, and I guess a kingdom will need its prophets. And that's what you've become. Sitting on the beach, you've become sitting in the wilderness on a beach, the voice that is crying out the way to the kingdom, showing the way to the kingdom. That's you. In essence, you and Trudeau are actually the same. Yeah, you've both done away with self. You've just been given different functions in the kingdom. But in essence, you've become yourself. So somebody sitting under the tree being also non-dual, and pointing to a Justin Trudeau in scorn, no, you are the same. You serve the same kingdom. Anyway, so returning to our Father's house. As I said, I never fully disconnected. I always dragged myself back. Being anchored in something that I know, bigger than myself, more than myself, something that I am a part of. So you've been out there. And there's this thing that I thought, sitting on my doorstep years ago, very much at the beginning of this. The thought was, if you love something, you let it go. And if it returns to you, it's yours. And it doesn't return to you, it was never yours to start with. And I feel it's a bit like that. And I want to return. I want to return to my Father's house. And to be quite honest, I'm not returning empty-handed, in a way. Because if you're in it, if it's your day-to-day, as a human being, you don't really see what it is you are, you're just functioning. But if you go out there and look at it, and you look back, you're actually gaining a knowledge of yourself. You're gaining a knowledge of this world. You're returning to this world with a completely different perspective of what this is. And again, a higher level of consciousness. You know, actually seeing that the world is something greater than you were led to believe. I mean, you're led to believe it's nothing. Actually, it's infinitely greater than that kingdom. Infinitely greater than that kingdom. So there's raising. It would raise your level of awareness. But many don't return. They become part of those kingdoms. And there is now, again, the merging. They have become part of this kingdom, and now they're trying to bring it to earth. They're trying to make that all, and they are the workers of it. Trying to make this idea of the one having control over everything. They are the workers of that. They're bringing it, the two realities merging. They're trying to make that all in this world. We must remember who we are. We are human beings, and that is actually being created out of spiritual connections in this world. And we are part of the living God. There is a God here, revealed. You can see him. You know him. We will know God intimately. That's something I heard. We will know, the I don't know, what does it say? The gospel will be revealed within us, and we will know God intimately. Because we are a part of him. He is revealed. We're just not seeing it. It's in front of our eyes. We're just not seeing it. We don't understand it. And here's the last thing I want to say, and this is again this image of the cross and the bar to which you nail yourself. And starting with nothing, very low consciousness, very low knowledge of self, very low understanding, to all. And somewhere you set a level on which you function, or you are on a level that you function. Yeah? And you can raise the bar or you can lower the bar. Higher levels of consciousness, lower levels of consciousness. Now, the likes of a Klaus Schwab, those that are bringing the kingdom to earth right now, and now you know it. You should know it. You should understand what is happening. People still, they don't make the connection between what has been taught in the New Testament and what's happening here. Like that kingdom is still out there somewhere. No, it's manifesting around you. But it's built on a very low level of consciousness. Yeah? And you get knowledge according to what you are, according to the knowledge of level of consciousness, And the knowledge that has been given to the likes of Klaus Schwab on this level of consciousness is technology. Technology is knowledge that is derived from a very low level of consciousness. And thank God for that. Because it is showing us the outcome of a way, the kind of person it creates, and what it will do in this world. And it is utterly destructive. Yeah? But technology it's bad enough, yeah? But it could be infinitely worse. Because there are other ways of working things on the level of energy and vibration. Yeah? And as I said, if we're doing what they are doing on a higher level, we become destructive on speed. So it's a good thing that they are low consciousness, and I mean they do work destruction, but it could be infinitely worse. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing, and that's where I'm at the moment. Really, two things. Justin Trudeau, the likes of him are the epitome of Jesus. They were created by that teaching, and they have become. They were the outcome. I am is the outcome. Yeah? And they are no longer human. And they are less than human. A lot less than human. And they are serving in a system that is less than this world. By understanding this world, by understanding ourselves in this world, which is the living God revealed, we can learn, we can raise our level of consciousness far beyond what that kingdom would ever take you to. So we must return to our Father's house. And the last thing is that the Bible promises that when you return, you will be met with open arms. That's one thing. The Bible absolutely promises that. And the other thing is you do not have to return with empty hands, but you can bring a knowledge that was born out of your experience, a knowledge of this world, a new perspective of this world that is greater than the one you had before. And you can give that to others. And you can raise the consciousness of humanity, the level of consciousness of humanity. But the knowledge is in this world, it is not out there. Anyway, I think I shall leave it at that for today, and I shall talk to you again soon. Bye.